I mean, why was he there? Why wasn't he here in America? Wait a minute. I thought that the Palestine was an open-air prison. You're telling me that he voluntarily visited an open-air prison, and while he was there, he spent time throwing rocks at passing cars? Is that what you're saying to me?
Was he was born in America?
He's Palestinian American, so he does have American citizenship. And I think that's the point. I have compassion for any innocent people on either side of this conflict, and I'm very concerned that an American child is being held in a prison. There's been no family contact, developing diseases, and
you're literally going off of a PTR post from fucking Twitter, bro. There's no credible sources at all. You're just a retard.
I don't think I'm looking very.
Julian. I was looking. I hear you, Alan. Moved to America.
We don't know. We don't know. We don't know.
Either way, he's an idiot. Okay.
Okay. I agree. He is an idiot. So that's the point. We don't know because it's a fucking meme from online and it doesn't have any sources cited and it doesn't provide any proof. It might as well be bullshit.
And this is what I was talking about earlier.
Made up. It could be completely made up.
I think it's worrying because
it's worrying that you are falling for this retarded bullshit because I thought you were a smart kid.
No American outlets are reporting on this, and I find this very worrying because this is in America.
Because it's a meme. What do you mean? No American outlets are reporting on these nuts. Why are American outlets reporting on your mama's bad titties?
Whoa, that's not nice. That's not nice.
And I don't have anything about
Who's that guy that
Hold on 1 second. I want to understand what is the source of information?
It's the PTR that he has right there, Daniel. It's the picture from Twitter from this guy who posted it on Twitter. Let's see, his name is Jasper Nathaniel. I don't even know who that is. So we're gonna believe this guy Jasper Nathaniel?
Look, at the same time, I also heard that Israel falsely.
I'm asking just what is the source, Julia, before you move on. Can you tell me?
Harry, the man who's known as Harry Balzac, just answered your question. Julian is on a trip right now for some reason, but Harry just answered your question. The source is...
I'm asking Julian.
You want Julian?
For a second.
I see.
Yes.
Okay.
What is the source that this tweet has of this story ever happening? Did you take its face value? Like, I'm wondering, why do you go to such scrutiny on Israel, but you just believe anything that is written in this obviously biased tweet? What is the source of the information?
Look, there's been articles on Al Jazeera.
I'm asking the source. You know the source? Hold on. Let me explain the source. One second. My friend, hold on 1 second. I'm asking for a source. The primary source, not where it was echoed, because as you know, I'm not asking in the reports, what is the source that they say that they got it from?
Look, there's no source in this post, but at the same time, this has been reported on Al Jazeera, The Guardian, but no American outlets have been reporting on this, so I find this really worrying. Like, why is there no outlets?
Maybe you are so close, Julian, you are so close, Julian, you're so close to figure it out. Why just those, The Guardian and Al Jazeera, are publishing this unverified, no evidence report based on God knows what, and the American or the Western one seem to not get, like, I don't know, screenwriters to write like, do you understand evidence? Do you understand, like, the job of journalism? Like, or even for yourself. In the article that you read, if you even read more than the tweet, what is the source? As said by who? Family members? Like, what?
Like I said, this has been reported on...
His source is Al Jazeera.
I don't care when it was reported. Oh my
in
God.
the Guardian.
I'm trying to help you, man. Man, I'm trying to help you. If you use critical thinking, the fact, I will tell Julian, listen. Julian, no, repeating a lie doesn't make it more true. I'm asking.
I think it's very disrespectful to say an American child being held in prison.
Julian, you're missing the point in a really disturbing way. It's very
Maybe I
disturbing.
am, but I think
You're a symbol of what's wrong with the American public education system.
Prison and
Julian,
diseases.
there's something wrong right
Yes.
now. Julian, did you take the vaccine?
You don't have to answer that question if you want to.
Did you take it? Julian, did you take it? How many vaccines did you take, Julian?
First of all, that's against HIPAA. You don't have to answer that question.
Julian, you're missing the point in a major disturbing way. It is a meme online, okay? So
I don't think it's a meme if it's been reported on The Guardian and Al Jazeera.
Well, put the link in the chat. Can you put the link in the chat? Put the link in the chat. Can you put the link in the chat?
Wow.
Put the link in the chat.
Okay, I put the link in the chat. Like, this isn't a joke. A child is being held in prison and developing
Says
diseases.
who? Says who? Based on what? What is the evidence that was presented? Who did they speak to? What did they see? Who
Fuck,
saw?
he didn't get his teeth knocked out. Not fucking didn't get.
Do you understand the fact that Al Jazeera wrote a story that maybe someone told her doesn't mean shit? And they believed it, so you believe it? Dude, have some respect for yourself and use the brain that was given to you by God and think for yourself. What was I presented? You asking us?
The Guardian is reputable, so
Based on what? On your opinion?
Julian, there
Have
are
many subscribers because they repeat the same lie? Forget about the Guardian. Use your own brain. Even the Guardian that is most reputable never says anything unprofessionally. Can you go into the Guardian and see what is their source? And think for yourself, it is a credible source? Do they even mention the source? Or they just report it based on like, how? Did they go to the Megiddo prison? Al Jazeera? The Guardian? No, they didn't. So what, telepathically? For fuck's sake, like, use your brain. They are reliable sources, so I believe them. Like God. This is how they brainwash you. Just believe whatever is told to you, because there's a stamp on the Guardian of it. As if it's like the Ministry of Truth.
well, so this is an article from The Guardian. U.S. Embassy officials have conducted welfare checks on Muhammad Ibrahim since his detention, but have faced restrictions in recent weeks. According to an email sent by a State Department official to the family, Zahir Muhammad's father said he was informed by the embassy after an early visit that his son appeared to have lost 12 kilograms, 26 pounds in the spring. In mid-July, the State Department informed the family in an email sent by The Guardian that Ibrahim was suffering from scabies, an contagious skin infection caused by mites, and was receiving medical treatment, said U.S. officials would visit once he recovered.
So scabies, basically. Yeah, that happens sometimes, especially in like prisons or in army, because of the type of wolf.
Oh, I thought it was a meme. More interesting.
No, scabies could happen. That shit happens. Not a crime.
Again, there's no reliable source that he just mentioned that shows that this guy, who we don't even know if that picture is actually his real picture or his name, even exists, or he's even in a prison. It's all bullshit, propaganda, and I said this earlier in the room, is these fuckers come in here from TikTok and from Twitter, and the first thing they read, they believe. It's brainwashing. That's all it comes down to. That's it.
Yeah, I've read the article.
Learn how to think for yourself.
It was in an email that the Guardian saw. So, yeah, there's a lot of details in the article.
Where is it from
Yeah,
the
thank
United
you,
States?
George.
Do you know?
There's actually a lot of details, and U.S. Embassy officials have verified it, so I don't see how this is a fake person.
What is the name of the...
This isn't
I honestly don't give a fuck. When I give a fuck about is the hostages that are still in Gaza, which no one seems to talk about. You come in here and talking about this fucking guy who threw rocks or whatever he did, broke the law, who deserves to be in jail. So I don't give a shit about him, tell you. I care about the people who were innocently taken from their homes while they were sleeping in the bed at 7 in the morning because terrorists came and fucking walked into their house with AK-47s. That's what I care about. And then they raped the women, children, whatever. They killed the dogs in the fucking kibbutz there. They burned the houses down. But you care about some fucking kid that broke the law because he's a fucking retard, thought that he was going to be a martyr, thought he's going to be a fucking shaheed or whatever the fuck he was thinking he was going to be because he threw rocks at tanks like a fucking retard.
When he gets visits from the embassy and seeing doctors that weigh him and treat him for scabies, this is your problem, not the hostages. You see how they look like?
I care about the hostages.
So who gives a fuck about a criminal that is in jail? For fuck's sake. Yes.
I care about humans and humanity.
Julian, criminals should be in jail, and people that try to murder people should go to a mental institution. Okay? You should not be here defending them and talking about them as if they are like people that were like oppressed. No, the guy's a fucking. He's not a child. He's not a child.
Julian, what is wrong with the answers that you've been given? You have been given many answers to your query here.
Hello, moderators. Moderators, this is John. I'd like to make a demonstration and show you a quick diagnostic. Julian, what is 370?
John, can I moderate? If I give you the green bean, are you going to just end the room?
No, I won't. Julian, this is a quick diagnostic for the room. What's 373 times 1,000? What is 373 times 1,000?
I'm not answering that.
Okay, let me give you an easier version. What is 100 times 1,000? What is 100 times 1,000? Go ahead, Julian.
You really don't know that, Julian? Really?
This is an important diagnostic here. Because it's important to know. It's important to know that as a speaker and having a debate with Julian, if you can't even answer a simple math question, maybe it's you that are having the problem, failing to realize that Julian, may not all be there, but you are having an intense debate with somebody who may not all be there. Someone that can't do 100 times 1,000. 100 times 1,000.
I know the answer to that, but I don't see what that is really the topic.
Okay, prove it. Prove it on the spot, and then we'll know that our diagnostic test has been completed.
Well, you just put it on the calculator right now. We know.
Every child that commits a crime, no matter how old he is, should be in fucking jail. And I hope this kid fucking rots in jail.
It's the same thing that happens in America.
Every dies of scabies.
If you commit a murder in America and you're 16 years old, they're going to charge you as an adult. You're very close. You're close to 18 and a child.
He's a child. Let him go. Don't arrest the criminal. Don't arrest the murderer. Let him go outside and kill more Jews because he's a child. Exactly. No, the problem should be with the indoctrination of children that teaches them from a young age that it's a holy war to go and slaughter Jews. Okay, that should be a problem. Did he say a word about it? Just the Jews for arresting him before he killed the Jew and put him in fucking jail when he's getting all the rights without visiting from his counselor and doctors.
And his family is from Florida.
Wellness checks from the American.
The governor of Florida is helping him because he's from Florida.
Okay.
Julian, why was he throwing rocks in the West Bank instead of chilling on the beach in Florida?
The West Bank.
Alright, well, for Julian, I'm just using the words that are appropriate for Julian.
I know the area is, and also,
why was he throwing rocks and not eating his mother's junk nude, or whatever it's called?
Like I said before, I do feel for the hostages currently in Gaza.
Wait, what about my question? What about my question? I didn't ask you about the hostages.
You just said I feel for them.
What about...
Stop looking at me.
We didn't ask about the hostages right now. I asked you why was he throwing rocks? Why
he throwing rocks to it?
Look, he was accused of throwing rocks.
Why was he? Why was he?
So we're gonna get that if he was accused because it happened, okay? So if you take face value of what they're saying, take face value what we are saying. He was throwing rocks, as it says there, and then he was arrested, and now he's facing trial, let's say, according to your tweet. Why was he throwing rocks? Was he skipping them on a lake with his wife?
Look, like I said before, I think
Try to answer, it's important, it's not a gotcha. If you understand this, maybe it will open your eyes, because it's a child, falsely accused.
Daniel, there is no opening Julian's eyes. He supports murderers. It's just that simple.
Julian, what is 373 times 1,000?
300,000.
Oh shit! 373,000.
Yes. But anyway,
373,000.
You have to
anyway, what does this have to do with the topic? Because at the same time, I'm very, like I said,
you chose to answer this.
I acknowledge,
question of why. We ask you why was this stone thrown. Try to answer this.
I understand these are accusations. At the same time, I don't know.
Commodities are necessities. We don't need commodities.
You don't need Red Bull. I mean,
It's not a commodity.
well, I'm sorry, maybe I'm using the wrong word.
Yeah, there's a lot of words here. He's using a lot of proprietary words that you have to know the specific definition of. Yeah, like it's colloquial definitions. She's not going to be familiar with the economic definitions of that.
Oh my god, would you still talk to people like they're idiots? Okay.
It's dumplings is very nice.
There's dumplings with you guys, and spend there's time with them. You know, just just leave them here and talking bullshit.
Okay. I really hope y'all change your approach, please.
I think you're making yourself.
It's not I hate to admit is that Mel Gibson makes some of the best movies in the game. Like it pains me as a Judas. Yeah, a couple of good ones. Braveheart, Apocalypto, what else did he do? That's really good. Patriot was fun, even though it's not a great movie, it's a fun movie.
Not recordings. I got text messages. I got pictures. You know, I have screen grabs. Because people be lying. When it comes to Clubhouse, it ain't that deep for me to go back and forth with people. But I'm realizing in the last 2 weeks, people have been up in arms, lying way too much.
This new thing where people do not understand hypothetical situations. I'm working with young people all the time. There are some people, younger people, the future stewards of society who do not comprehend the concept of a hypothetical situation. And so you'll say to them, hey, if you were going to do that, and they're like, oh, like right now? And you have to say to them, no, like in the future, like in your imagination, like pretend, like let's really. Do you know pretend? Can you pretend?
Let's do it differently. Is it? Yes, very much.
No, it's felony.
Very much.
It's felony assault.
No,
if he
he said it didn't happen. He didn't say it. No, you need to
Okay,
understand.
but if it happened, it's felony assault. It doesn't matter why.
No, of course it matters. It matters why. Because it's not a criminal act.
It is a criminal act.
No,
it's assault.
It's in your words.
It could be attempted murder also.
This is a terrorist. No. In your words, this is because it's the reason why it matters also in court. Okay.
Well, it
why
could be
did you do this? Is it a
additional
hate
charge.
It's terrorism.
You have an additional charge of terrorism.
Yes,
sure.
but I'm asking
at the very least,
why.
It matters to me
No,
why.
but you're missing the point also. The question is why, not what. No, but Jason, that would be the classification. Why did he get up the same day, got out, and decided to throw those rocks?
Right.
Not
right.
But that
This is the question.
It does
he's in
matter.
jail.
It
But
does
he's in
matter.
jail for assault.
But it does matter.
It does matter.
It robbed somebody.
Oh my God, Jason.
Well,
No, it does matter.
we've
Jason. No, for you, it's assault, okay? But it does matter why. Because it happens a lot for the same reason.
For the courts, it's assault.
No, for the courts, it's
For the
terrorism.
justice system, it's assault.
Wait.
No, Jason, I cannot say
pause.
no enough. Go and study the topic about the Palestinian terror. Just assault, like you would do if I would meet you in the supermarket and we have a fight. It's not.
No, assault is when you put someone in fear of bodily harm. Battery is when you deliver on. Battery is when you harm them. That's what those two things are.
Intent is a critical part of any violent act.
Yes, intending to. If you don't have the intent of self-defense, it's assault.
But any violent
I don't
act.
know why you guys are arguing about this right now.
Because that's all
I
you
don't
need
know
to know
why
to explain
you guys are
why the
arguing about
kid is in
this
jail.
here,
The kid
because
is not a hostage.
It matters, Jason. If it doesn't matter to you, let the conversation flow because it does matter. Maybe if you hear the answer, you will understand why it
Maybe
matters.
if you
Now,
will hear what I'm
Justin,
saying,
we heard what you're saying.
We heard you.
We heard what you said 7 times. But the question that I had was not what was the charge. I asked
So just
why
tell
did
us
he
then.
get up
Just
that
tell us.
morning? Why did he get up that morning and decided to throw rocks? That is the question that interests me. And I think that if Julian would understand it, he would have a better understanding of the entire situation and not think that it's like a child that was arrested and accused and got scared.
Look, I understand that, but at the same time, I'm reading the article, and I think they make it clear that his family does dispute the charges about
Of course they do. They always do. What does that mean? That means nothing.
Oh no, so it didn't happen. If the family says that the child didn't throw rocks, then obviously, what are we talking about? That actually never happened, that a Palestinian threw a rock at a Jew. That would be actually the first, so it makes sense. And me asking you, like, I think 12 times, you failed to answer once. And I think it's because you know the answer, you just don't want to admit it for some reason.
What was the question?
The question is why did that little child, instead of playing at home with his friends soccer with a ball, decided to take a rock and throw it at Jews? He's a child, I remind you. Okay, not a militant, not a fighter. He should be, I don't know, nursing, whatever children do in your eyes at the age of 16.
Look, at the same
He doesn't
time,
want to answer because he knows the answer to the question.
Right.
Why wasn't he nursing? Why wasn't he nursing in his mother's
Right.
bosom?
Also, and then
I think that's a valid question, but I think we're also ignoring that his family with the charges.
I'm not talking about the charge.
you that.
Julian, try to focus about my question first. Answer my question, then we can talk about.
Let's return to John's question. Because I think that this is really disturbing that Julian is consistently. Julian, we have heard, we can hear you. We're all on the group call together. We can hear you. So you already said the family disputed the charges. That was already responded to. Then it was your turn again. Then you said again, the family disputes the charges. That is very disturbing because it seems like
Because
you're not
we are talking
flowing
about
with the,
the
you're not
same
following.
topic. We're still talking about why he threw these rocks.
No, Daniel, it doesn't matter if the family disputes the charges.
I think that is important because
Then why do you think he was arrested then? Then why do you think that he was arrested then?
They're both.
Why do you think he was arrested then?
It literally.
Why
I'm
do you
going from
think?
the article.
Why do you think? Go to the article. Go to the article.
Of throwing these rocks.
So, but why? Why? Do you hear me? Do you hear me?
Why would Israel take a 16-year-old and
Why
now
would they
feed
take
him
his
and
whole
hold him in
family?
detention?
Why wouldn't they take his whole fucking family? Why wouldn't they just roll up and shoot them all? Why wouldn't he shoot them all? Why wouldn't they go up? Why did they airstrike that whole? Airstrike the whole fucking
Believe what you want to
village?
believe, and just listen. Believe what you believe, but just give us a reason why this event happened. If you want to say that he threw the rock, why did he throw the rock? If you say that Israel arrested him falsely, why? Like, try to make sense of it so we can understand you, because I don't think we do.
Look, I'm just trying to say that I just think it's worrying an American child is being held on these guys.
We heard you there. We heard you. I agree with you. It's worrying that an American child is being held on these activities. I agree with you word for word.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't match what his whole family is
That's what
saying.
his family is saying, and that's disturbing. It's disturbing that his family is a bunch of fucking dirty liars. And they're not just fucking owning up to reality. Their son is a Palestinian terrorist who goes on vacation to Judea and Samaria to throw rocks at people's Jews. He's from Palm Bay, Florida. They enlisted the help of the Florida government. They lived there half the year.
The thing with the Pope Alice, the thing with the Pope Alice is that they don't shoot.
Julian,
They don't
Americans
think they're
are
gonna
arrested.
chew the food for them and put it in their mouth.
Guys, I have a
Americans are arrested all over the world all the time for crimes like this, and no, the U.S. does not bust them out or whatever. People who commit crimes should be in fucking jail. Okay, and this kid probably is in that category, dude. And that's not fucking concerning. That's the system working.
Are you arguing with someone from Israel?
Any person in America that would throw rocks at police officers or would be put in jail right away. Like, no questions about it.
And it's amazing the way that he says American child. Like, dude, are you lying to yourself, trying to manipulate like the situation? Let's maybe call it a terrorist indoctrinated child. The Julian. Yes. So maybe your problem should be child indoctrination and recruitment of children. That should be your problem.
Julian, my question remains unanswered. It is another hypothetical question, so you might have trouble with this one. But if he wasn't arrested for throwing rocks, Julian, you agree it's possible that he did not throw rocks? You agree? It's possible he did not throw rocks. Is this true?
Well, so
Dr.
he's accused
Dr.
of
Greenthumb.
throwing rocks.
He's been accused of throwing rocks.
Like, as I previously stated, returning to the script. And the family rejected it. So,
Julian, why do you believe that he specifically targeted?
I don't hear the Zionist. Do you like Hitler?
Jesus. This is a big waste of
where was he arrested? Was he arrested at the pool of the soccer field? Like, where was he arrested?
Wait, let's.
Thank you.
Let's just confirm what my friend the trash bag just said, that this is a huge waste of fucking time. Let's just confirm that for everybody here so you know how to proceed. That this is a huge waste of fucking time. Huge waste of time.
I think it's great.
honestly.
No, well, we spend too much time on
But
why
the
was the
problem
guy
is we're
arrested?
making ourselves look like retards because this is a self-roasting app, and anytime you open your mouth on this app, you end up roasting yourself. And so I've actually done a bunch of shit today. I like drove around and did a couple errands, but I think the entire time that I've been doing that, I've been halfway trying to focus on this fucking retarded gobbledygook that people are arguing about. I mean, no offense to anybody in particular, but it is a big waste of time, probably.
So what do we want to talk about then?
We could potentially, first of all, let me just say, we could potentially waste less time if we had slightly more efficient communication. Like if we didn't have to go back and forth. You know, John has suggested in the past that we might have like a 1 minute hard limit for every speaker has 1 minute hard stop. And I think if we implemented that, well, yeah, I don't know, but I think that could make a lot of headway. And I think that people have to listen. I mean, you have to listen if you're being spoken to. You have to really, really, really listen. And that's a big ask, too, because sometimes I'm speaking to somebody, I'm like, hey, are you hearing me? I can't see their face. I'm trusting that they're hearing me, but then when it's their turn to speak, it sounds like they didn't really hear me fully, so...
Because they don't give a shit about what you say. They care only about the agenda and the propaganda that they want to spread. I 100% agree with you. It's a waste of time. You want to hear what? You want to hear what you heard already a million times before? What new about what they say? It's never new. I want to see Julian or anybody motherfucker else that in private truck get hit by a rock and tell me, oh, it's only a rock. Why you want to shoot him? Let's see what happened to you when you're driving and you get hit by a rock. That's surprising you.
Have you ever seen those videos, Julian, of the people
I
driving?
probably thinks about a truck because he's a truck driver.
Oh, no. Okay, whatever.
No, that's not why, because that's what these fucking kids do. They throw rocks at trucks, at cars, people, like innocent people, civilians driving too. You know, they take guns, they shoot.
Truck driver, do you understand this stupidity?
But Shupi, you missed the point that he's a child and his family said that it didn't happen. You missed that.
Ah, okay. Yeah, we're missing all the points. We're always on the miss. Somehow, we always on the miss. We never on the get it. And Julian is claiming that he's so much for Israel, and he cannot bring himself to say one good thing about Israel. Unbelievable.
I love
Go sit on a cactus, you fucking piece of shit!
Sit on it. What did you say?
I just said I love like something from Israel. There's
Wait, what
more.
did you
I
say?
think
Sit on
I
a
think
what?
their beaches are
Yes,
all
cactus.
Oh, well, sit on the cactus.
I
There's
love
shawarma, really,
beaches.
Julian? There's shawarma?
How about
And
all the
their-
gays, Julian?
and
You
their
got a lot of
beaches.
cute guys there.
How would you even know? You've never been, Julian. How would you know anything about the beaches or...
I have Google and I have Google Maps.
Oh my god. Yes, Google.
Julian, have you ever Googled these nuts?
Here, this is from like an hour ago. If you would like my PTR, Battlefield Beach. Still uploading.
Is that where you are now?
Yeah, no, an hour ago.
Now you're going home?
At some point, I don't know exactly when.
Nobody still answered
It's
the
not
question.
too crowded. I would expect it to be much more crowded.
100 profiles versus 1-8.
So not real. Okay, so maybe not peak time.
Okay, let me put another one.
What was the question, BB?
I'll put videos.
BB, what was the question that we're supposed to answer? Or somebody?
Receiver.
How do you pronounce this Hebrew name? Is it Naib?
Who?
The guy with the Netanyahu? The full name?
Eretz Israel.
Aleph.
Eretz Israel.
Is that what it is, really?
Aleph Yud. Eretz Israel. Yes, the land of Israel. Or something else like that.
Israel, hi.
So the coin that they always seem to say that has the name Palestine on it, that's also written on the coin as well. What he has in his
Are
name.
you saying that the aleph can also signify the word for land?
No, it's an abbreviation, like LTD means limited, or like, I don't know.
Like
or
USA?
Oh, I
yes,
got
exactly.
it. I got it. Thank you.
Abbreviation.
Thank you.
And basically the name was the British mandate. The name was the British mandate to Palestine, but in Hebrew was the Eretz Israel.
Yes.
Same as you would say Germany in English, but in German you say Deutschland.
Yes.
So in Hebrew it was always Eretz Israel. And it was on every like stamp or document or passport or whatever.
It's not a whole.
Thank you.
So whenever they show those coins or documents, they just don't read Hebrew. So yeah.
Number and
Does that make sense, Julian, about the rock thrower?
What about the rock thrower, right?
We've answered your question here for the past 25 minutes.
Okay.
Okay, is my microphone working? Working out.
No, your microphone is working. I think he's just had a bit too much cannabinoid with products, maybe. I don't know.
Julian sounds to me like one of the guys from Amir's room, no?
Who's Amir?
Huh?
Who is Amir? The one that you're licking his butthole.
Yeah, no, you like, this is the intellectual level of his rooms.
Who is Amir? The one that you're licking his butthole all the time.
I don't know who Amir is.
Really?
He's the one who you're licking his butthole.
Listen, you should go on the you should go in the lobby. He hosts a room now. Yeah, you should go in. This is exactly like the place for you.
Julian, have you seen this image?
In his room.
Dr. Julian.
Sorry for the.
Have you seen this image?
What image?
PTR.
Yeah, I have seen that image, and like I said, I do feel for the Israeli hostages, but at the same time, I feel for humanity as a whole, and I just very disturbed.
You know, whenever somebody starts, whenever somebody says, I have a lot of empathy for something, and then they say the word but, what they're saying is, ignore everything I previously said, this is what I really feel. That's what the issue is. So when people say, oh, you know, it's horrible what happened on October the 7th, but Hamas had no choice.
Why is there a but though?
Julian, we feel for humanity, but the point of this image is to illustrate the lie. What's most significant about this image, in my opinion, is that this is a major accident. That this, first of all, people, do you understand, Julian, what this is an image of?
You don't. Yes, it's one of the Israeli hostages.
And whose arms and what is being handed to him?
I'm assuming that's Hamas.
And what are they handing to him? You can zoom in.
It looks like water or food.
It looks like a can of beans, basically, to me.
Yeah.
With some Arabic writing. Okay, so but this is an axe. This is a major slip up. This is a goof, because they should have gotten a much more starving Hamas person to hand him the fucking can of beans, because as I illustrated in the meme, I'm the creator of this meme, by the way, which I think is a very nice meme. You can clearly see that the one guy is starving, and that the other guy is being treated very well. So what we're told all the time is that the hostages are being treated very well,
And what we're told all the time is that the Palestinians are starving. We're told that all the time. No, they say that all the time. The hostages.
I disagree. No, because like how much?
Beside the point. The point is, they goofed up and they showed that they're not actually starving. That the Hamas guys who are in the tunnel with the starving guy, the Hamas guys are not actually starving. And so the reason why I think this is relevant in response to your
deliberately starving the hostages.
Right. So the reason why this is a nice response to your image about the rock-throwing 16-year-old from Palm Bay, Florida, who went on vacation to Judea and Samaria and spent his time throwing rocks at passing cars for fun. The reason why this image is a nice response is because it illustrates how many lies there are in the Palestinian narrative. There are lies when they're talking about whether or not they're throwing rocks at cars. There are lies when they're talking about whether or not the hostages are being treated very well. There are lies when they're talking about whether or not the Palestinians themselves are starving. There are lies that you can see being disproven every day when you watch the videos. There are lies about the aid trucks and the aid distribution. And I saw a video the other day of one of the dropped aid packages that landed on a balcony. Did you see that one? Anybody?
What is your question? Scaffolding. Landed in scaffolding.
Yeah, did you see this video? It like landed and then they were like swarming it like a fucking...
Yeah, not organized.
They fell down. Oh my goodness. So Julian, they just lie all the time, and they probably were lying about this 16-year-old rock thrower as well. Oh, he's on the phone.
So my friend.
Amazing.
Resistance is calling.
No, Julian is a good guy. I mean, Resistance is a hateful piece of garbage. Julian is just young and dumb.
Julian is no better than Resistance.
Oh, Julian is much better than Resistance in
I'm
one
gonna
simple
tell
way.
you why. No,
I'll just tell you.
As a young guy, as a young guy,
Fence.
as a young guy, I'm sorry. As a young guy,
All right, fine. You win.
There's worse people.
as a young guy that actually studied in New York University, if you don't do your own research, shut the fuck up, bitch. Well, if you don't do your own research to find out what is the actual truth, then you are no better than Resistance.
Okay, much well than people not doing their research.
I hear you there, but I mean, Julian's defense is nice.
Julian, you should apologize.
Don't you see that I convert Resistance? Look on my PTR, I converted.
The thing that talks much more than people not doing their own research, which is, okay, somebody can be lazy, somebody might not care too much, blah, 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 excuses. What I fucking hate is people not making any fucking sense in a conversation. Like you give them the fact, you ask them a question, and they cannot fucking answer like a really dumb question that like a 5-year-old should answer.
Because they didn't think for themselves. They didn't choose their own food. Everything is handed to them, like the fact. Like
And that's exactly the reason why I'm telling you that Julian is no better than Resistance.
I agree.
Because he know that if he's gonna do the research, he will find out exactly what you're telling him. He knows that he's not that dumb. But he wants to be.
Admit to themselves. Then they will have to admit to themselves that they are with the Nazis, so they cannot do this. It's like self-preservation mechanism.
Julian, defend yourself.
Starving. I said before, I agree with my friend Trash Bag. I don't hear most of the narratives coming out of Gaza. I don't believe they're starving. Like he says, it seems like they're very well fed, and a lot of the narratives are quote-unquote propaganda. But at the same time, there are people on both sides who are suffering. I don't think it's what?
Julian,
The article you posted better on.
Okay,
Come on, let Julian finish. Let Julian finish.
Anyway, like I said before, there are people on both sides of this conflict who are suffering, and I'm just very concerned with this child and his situation going on now because
Julian, I wish that you're gonna be that child. I wish that you're gonna be that child, and you're gonna see how good it is. You're worse than a child. You're way worse than a child.
I just want to talk to Julie in a second. I just want to say. One second, my lovely. Do you recall seeing a picture put out into the media of a child who looked very emaciated from Gaza? And they were saying, oh look, they're starving the children, they're starving the children. This child, hello, I'm talking. This child has a medical condition, and then obviously it comes to light. If you just believe the first bit of evidence that you get, then more fool you. I mean, that's why we have judicial system. That's why we have, research like someone else talked about. You have to look at the bigger picture. You don't just look at what people are saying and go, oh yeah, that's it. Because that is how these workers will be indoctrinated. Of course you can.
Julian, I feel like it's like the selling person has a big part. And so I'm curious, put this energy the same way to worry about the truth in Syria and thousands of them murdered, butchered, in the most heinous ways that just is happening as you and I are speaking right now on Clubhouse, or the Hindus in Bangladesh hanging upside down, being absolutely butchered and tortured as they're killed. I mean, my heart goes out to the Druze in Syria, in the Sudan, the amount of people, as we're on Clubhouse now, that are being murdered. Not involved because it's not involved Israel. Let me just finish. I think that you're a person with a big heart, and I respect that, but do you have the same amount of outrage for right now and what's happening with other people in the Middle East alone? Not even, we can go outside of the Middle East and some other horrible atrocities, but just in the Middle East and definitely in Syria as we speak. So I'm asking Julian that.
The answer is no.
Thank you, Julian.
Let Julian answer.
And David B. Anyway, I thank you for your sincere comments. So about the Jews in Syria and the Hindus in Bangladesh, I think you mentioned. Like I mean, absolutely. I mean, you also have the Alawites in Syria. I have.
Sudan. I did Sudan in there too.
Yeah, and Nigeria as well. Like the Christians in Syria and Nigeria, the Christians worldwide that are being persecuted. Like I absolutely feel for them. So yeah, I know.
To go out and hold a sign for them and go in front of.
What about the Christians? What about the Christians in Nigeria?
I didn't even get to all the Christians yet, Enigma, because.
I just wanted to say, because we were talking about he was talking about persecuted Christians. What about the Christians in Nigeria who are killing their own children because they're being told by their pastors and pastoresses that they're witches and wizards?
I don't
Julian,
think
would you go and put the sign in front of the embassy? Would you do something proactive to stop these other atrocities, or is it only the Gaza that you feel the outraging compulsion to take a stand?
Yeah, I would agree with Abby and Julian. Not to pile on you, but there's the Christians in southern Nigeria who are being persecuted. There's actually a lot of
Christians.
I'm trying to dialogue with, I love you, David, you know that, but to just ask Julian the question, would you do a political action to protect those other atrocities? Or is it only the Gaza one that you would feel compelled to take political action?
So I never went out and protested for God.
Even if everybody in the class does better, it doesn't matter. Only half the students can get those grades. So that would be a kind of treating of grades as a zero-sum game. No, I don't do that. I mean, there are classes like this one where the students are very good and
teacher that would show how socialism didn't work by doing grade assignment. Let me see how I can remember the story because I think it's relevant to this too. They said, the teacher said, okay, everyone gets what the top grade earner gets. So the A students got A's and everybody else got A's. Well, then the A students like, why am I busting my ass learning this material if everybody's gonna get the same grade that I get? So then they started slacking off. Well, then they got B's. And the other student said, hey, I didn't have to study at all. Instead of an F or a D, I got a B because of someone else's labor. That's what I could do too. And they got to C's. And then it ended up that everybody was failing the class because it didn't mean anything anymore to work and get and do the job. And that's socialism. All right.
lots of people get very high grades. There are classes where people are terrible. In fact, talk about an instance of bad cooperation versus good cooperation. We have this program called FIGS, First Year Interest Groups. The advisors refer to the people in them as figlets, by the way. It is kind of cute. Anyway, the figlets, normally within those groups, cooperation is very good, and people in those perform better. But in the time I've been here, I did have one of these where it was bad cooperation. There were several people in there who were just terrible students, and they corrupted the others. They all cooperated. So, like, I think one person in that entire FIG group got a C. All the others got D's and F's. And I don't think it's, at the first, they didn't look like they were all terrible students, but it turned out the few really bad apples just spoiled the whole bunch and encouraged them all to have terrible work habits. So that kind of thing can happen. In any event, normally grading isn't like that, but it could be. So it doesn't have to be economic. Now, lots of games are mutually beneficial in the sense that the players can increase or decrease the total amount of utility. So normally we would think war is like that. Wars can be fought more or less destructively. And in fact, one of the hard questions in looking at 20th century military history is why were 20th century conflicts so unbelievably destructive? The First World War, the Second World War, the loss of life, the destruction of property, and so on. Just dwarfs earlier wars. Partly that's just because people had more technology to do more efficient killing, but it wasn't just that. And so, you have to think, why were they such terrible wars? That was a case of people really decreasing utility radically. But also, there are ways of people actually getting together and cooperating and increasing utility. Well, in this case, one player's gain doesn't necessarily come at somebody else's expense. It might be, in fact, that I gain by causing you to gain. And so we actually have useful cooperation. So what are some examples of mutually beneficial games? Good economic competition, right? You might think, well, if we're thinking market share, my getting more market share means you have less. But on the other hand, it might be that actually by introducing new products and competing, we're actually increasing people's interest in all of this, and so we're growing the market at the same time. So maybe the competition is actually improving all of our situations. And similarly, I sell you some product, and you like it. It makes your life better. I'm improving your utility. You're paying me, so I'm getting a benefit out of that. And so we're both benefiting. In fact, typically,
helpless and Palestinians, and Hamas and Israel and Palestinians and Islam is and Hamas, obviously. I mean, duh, they're great now.
Well, ending is one would also do the trick. My friend.
Yeah, but they're Muslim.
No, say, like, my friend, with all due respect, I don't really like the way you said that question. That's not what I would. Which question? Well, mate, you want to question the poll? I don't want to get.
With all due respect.
You can write your own poll and send it to me in the back channel.
Well, that sounds like
I would make you a moderator, but you're not sober.
no. I don't want to be moderator.
If you were sober, maybe.
But that's a lot of work. So
Yes, it is hard to do. I have trouble with it as well. I just have a different substance of choice.
But you know that David did graduate Kennedy's very bright.
Yes, well, I am also an underwater basket weaver.
I don't know what that means. What does that mean?
What does it mean if you graduate? David, were you Wharton or the college?
I'm Wharton Business School.
So let's layer on top of it, not the Ivy League.
Also, like, not to flex, but, our boy, President of the United States, also graduates from Wharton. Let's go.
David, you're supposed to sell the tequila, not drink all of the tequila.
Exactly.
I actually have a friend who actually has a tequila business.
Right, David?
I have a friend who has...
Should we sing it?
I have a friend who
I
has...
actually have a friend who
No, I was gonna say, my friend has a tequila business.
I did hear you say that for the third time.
But not me. Not me.
You're selling only your rear gun.
Wow.
David, have you ever had a vodka Sprite with a splash of cranberry, David?
Definitely not Fox.
David, have you ever
David, have you ever had a Miller High Life with a glass of orange juice?
No, I don't know what that is.
It's called a beer mosa.
A bear. No, I don't do that. No friends. Anybody drink beer.
None taken. But with all due respect, David, what are you doing today? What are your plans and goals and dreams for this beautiful Sunday?
Well, it's Sunday because, actually, I don't want to tell you, no offense.
None taken.
I'm gonna make some rhubarb jelly.
Are you in the Garden State right now?
Yeah, I'm in Jersey, yeah.
Yeah, what your approximate?
Tampa County.
Okay. I'm right now talking to you.
Dogs.
Yeah, I'm a dog. I'm saying what exit?
Turnpike exit 4.
David, what is your address in Cherry Hill?
I'm heading over to my Jewish friends who live in the east side.
David, eat some fucking Taylor ham for me.
Not there yet. I'm just heading over in a little bit.
David, you gonna be anywhere near the UL?
No.
David,
I go to my friends. Sorry, man.
I'm hitting you up in the back channel with your closest AA meeting
With
place.
all due respect, I'm not gonna answer your back channel. With all due respect.
Well, with all due respect, just consider going to your closest AA meeting.
I'll answer Abby's back channel because she's nice.
I think I sent you another link, so I might not play.
I think you're in Iran. These are great. I just thought when I listened to you, the perspective of stuff out of the UK, I love when I get challenged with statistics and backup.
Abby, are you supporting Benjamin Netanyahu's declaration of escalating and culminating the war by destroying Hamas?
So it's interesting because it's a 2-month period of time that they will almost act like what we know to be in the U.S., the Army Corps of Engineers, building makeshift hospitals and different areas for relocation, for housing and other services. So during that 2-month period, they'll also be assessing. They haven't touched Gaza City, but that's clearly where Hamas is essentially focused now, and their stress is coming out of. So in order to really win them, they're going to have to take them out there. But there is a 2-month period of time. I really don't know if you could tell me another battle or war where there was a warning for 2 months. I mean, there's lots of wars where population shifts and moves and has to move because they're within a danger area. But this is a 2-month warning, so they, as well as the food distribution, everything will be arranged during those 2 months. So, I mean, they're not going in tomorrow. There's a buffer period of time. So I think that's kind of interesting, and I think it'll be interesting how that plays out. But curious people's thoughts on that they're approaching it that way. I don't think people are talking about that. I think they're going in tomorrow.
How do you know it's not just a bluff?
Well, you don't. You really don't. And, you have the polling of the Israeli population where it's very funny. I said this in a room the other day. You've got like 45% feeling one way, 45% feeling the opposite, and 10% saying they have no opinion, which none of us know Israelis that have no opinion, so it's kind of a funny poll. But everybody wants the war over. But you don't know if it's a bluff. But you do know that it's a 2-month period of time to build the hospitals and the areas for the relocation and the social services. So I can find there's some stuff written about it, some analysis on it. You don't know. We don't. But we do know that that's where they're located. That's what's got to be weeded out. And we know what they've found in other locations. We know when they were told not to go into Rafah, and they eventually went in, what they found. And so strategically, they're at war, and this is what's needed to annihilate the enemy. I think it's interesting, the Arab League's position, unanimous coming out of the Arab League, and I think you have to note that. They want Hamas gone as well. So, and I don't know why this dude in the chat has a problem with Judaism. Like, it's just very bizarre. But anyway, that's my...
Why would I have a problem with Judaism?
I hope that answers you, Governor.
You're talking about genociding people with the Amalekites and killing women and children and I don't know, virginity tests by Moses. I don't know.
Maybe you ate a bad piece of matzah once, something like...
Isn't it funny that people, when they come into the room, when someone's talking, they just talk over them to troll because they want to put their propaganda and their narrative out there? It's quite sad, really, isn't it? Can you not wait your turn? Sorry, I was talking to Mikhail.
Yes, Mikhail was in the Uncle Steve room just now. And then we realized there's something called Nation of Islam in US. It started in 1930. I think what we are seeing now is unfolding in one way, Nation of Islam penetrating US. And so the Nation of Islam organization, their plan is to make the black African American community emphasize that the white supremacy working on this. And so this group of people are called the black Muslim.
Two different things. You said the NOI is Nation of Islam Farrakhan, which is different than the BHI. Is that, you're talking about Farrakhan?
Yeah, they're different things, but the BHIs are being held to form through the Nation of Islam in US. I think somewhere Michigan, I think. So I just found it in the ChatGPT, but because he came to Uncle Steve's room, he just non-stop spreading all the information to question the legitimacy of Jewish in Israel. So I think it's good that I think we pretty much defeated most of the pro-Hamas, pro-Palestine arguments over the last 6 months. Now they have no more arguments, so they are mobilizing the black Hebrew Israelite to come here. And that shows that in order to have unity for America, we have to help the black community to purge out this group of people who only trying to cause more division among the American population, using Israelite as a justification.
Well, there's to me two very dangerous groups. I would tell you to pull up, if you're going on the internet, look at ETL's reports on vaccine components. I mean, they're on the south page. They approved. Have you guys ever gone in biblical smoke? I mean, it's like 700-800 people in a room at one time.
Exactly in the clubhouse, right? So they really
John, do you go in this room to the broadcast?
I've been in there, Abby. I've been in biblical smoke. I'm always amazed by the numbers they draw consistently. It's a little creepy. They don't really do back and forth. It's like they just have somebody reading scripture and interpreting it their way, I guess. But I do have a question for Gabe. Maybe I misunderstood. Were you saying that PHIs are anti-Israel? Did I hear that right?
I think that basically want to raise question the legitimacy of Jewish identity. They call them Edomite. And I think that the best is to do the ChatGPT because I just started, right? And they just came, they just come in, they full blast. You Jewish are Edomite, and then you have to figure out, okay, why do they want to call Jewish people Edomite? On what basis? It seems like in the formation of BHI, Black Israelite, Hebrew Israelite, they have a chart. They have a diagram of descendant, which is kind of their version of interpretation of Genesis, where they talk about the lineage, and so from this lineage, they justify that Jewish people are Edomite, and they have no claim to the Holy Land and all kind of stuff. So I think it's good that we need to.
So you're saying BHIs are pro-Palestine?
No, they are pro Islam as well. So they are assembling multiple things from Christianity, Judaism, all kind of stuff, in order to like jihadists create more hate, more anger.
They're very stupid people, though. So why do they matter?
I know, but still it's important we understand what else the enemy have in mind, right? So we understand they come to U.S. university and destroy the future of children of many family, right? They are totally indoctrinated, and this is through direct donation. And now I learned in 1930 they already started this thing. Yeah, it's called the Nation of Islam. I think AB probably know more, but the question is, what else Nation of Islam are doing in US? If they are doing in US, what else the organization is doing in UK, in Europe? We have to understand all these things. Then we know exactly how to deal with it. Yeah. This again just show to what extent the enemy of Israel would go to weaponize the weapon. And Nima, why are you laughing?
Sorry, Devin's put in the chat, aren't Edomites roasted soybeans? No, that's edamame.
Edamame. Is that how you pronounce it?
Yeah, just edamame.
Dishes.
Well, how do you say it then?
I thought it was edamame.
Well, of course, you like to put your E's on the end, like Nike. We call it Nike.
Oh, you just say Nike. Anyway, if there's nobody to fight with, then there's nothing to say.
I'm here.
Yeah, I was gonna say, my friend, it's very quiet.
Fight.
Oh, Shapeshifter is here. Shapeshifter.
Voted on the poll.
Shapeshifter.
Shape voted. That was a nice. Shapeshifter's not that bad. He voted correctly in the poll.
Shapeshifter. Do you think Benjamin Netanyahu's all bluff and bluster, or do you think he's really going to send in the hardcore IDF soldiers to go in there, blast out those terrorist cocksuckers, and liberate those hostages?
Whoa.
What do you think, Shapeshifter?
I think there is a chance of some bluff in there. Do you think? Are you still?
Why would they be bluffed out?
It's just strategic, David, so you can try to extract some type of negotiation.
I didn't ask you, I asked him.
Well, he didn't ask you, he asked him.
But I'm asking him.
David.
Okay, with all due respect, my friends, I'm asking him.
What if somebody else wants to answer?
Yeah,
Are they not allowed to?
Okay, well, we can do a poll. But
David, if you're even dumber than Julian, what does that say about you?
David,
first of all, that's not funny. That's not funny.
Times 1,000.
I feel insulted that you were laughing at me.
David.
No.
David, what is 873 times
I accept your
1,000?
apology. It's okay.
David, I prefer coffee before 5 p.m.
It's a good choice. It's a smart choice, David. Coffee before 5 p.m. Don't forget the numbers there, David. You don't start drinking alcohol till after 5 p.m.
Yep. So I think it could be a bluff, and it would actually be really smart if it was a bluff. Really good move if he's bluffing.
Okay, so like me and her were having a conversation. You guys.
Sorry, me and her.
Yeah, I know, right? Like, we're having a conversation, and all these men, right?
She and I.
David, are you running?
I put him in the audience real quickly. I want David to simmer just a minute, because if you're gonna pre-announce that you're gonna take the whole Gaza Strip, and that means you are going to, engage and defeat, guaranteed. So what I'm trying to say is, by making all or nothing statements or creating clickbait titles, you create that in order to see how, what the feedback is, what the response is. And so I think that, saying you're going to wipe your ass versus actually wiping your ass are two different things.
I think it could be a bluffer.
It's a little bit like chess, you put a feeler out there to see how they respond, and because, to sacrifice more soldiers to go, liberate Gaza from Hamas versus getting some type of negotiation or settlement or meeting of the minds through this type of negotiation tactic. But it could literally be him actually doing a neurolinguistic program and saying, hey, we're going to prep the world for this, that there's going to be some carnage. So, we told you 2 months ago, and now we're actually doing it, because that's most likely what's going to happen, where they're going to hope for the best, but plan for the worst.
Nice. He's moving the pawn on the rook file.
Somebody probably forgot the 12 days war. And you think that BP now gonna advise everybody that he's going to do something? Really?
Wait, so what are you saying, Shuki?
I think that it's completely blown, but we will see. There is no way that it's not a blow, to my opinion. Like, since when you're going to let your enemy know when you're planning to do something?
Well,
did he do that? Did he do that with Iran? Did he do it with Hezbollah? With who he did it? So now we decide to be the stupid to let the enemy know?
Well, I mean, they're in kind of a cornered position, no?
No? Why is it cornered? Do you see Trump saying anything against it? Do you see Trump stopping him from anywhere? He is in the best time of his life. 30 years in the political industry, never had so much support.
Well, in terms of like how many enemy soldiers there are still, like what's the actual number? Any idea? Is it 10,000, 20,000? Is it 5,000?
The problem with that, you're killing one, and they grabbing another two 14 years old kids, give them a weapon in their hands, and send them to either kill a soldier or get died by the soldier. So, for everyone that falling, they have another two that they recruit immediately.
IDF estimates are 40,000 as of May. It could be as simple as just getting the Hamas to move out of Gaza City and establish a corridor for aid to flow. Could be a big PR move.
That's what I'm saying. It's all a blow.
What do you think about the theory that if you actually go in there and take them all out and engage in a very aggressive action, in some ways, like Benjamin Netanyahu's political power, uh, by doing nothing but like saying you're going to do something is like the essence of politics. So the moment he actually completes or ends his objectives in the same way that like some other historical figure, it's always like a Pyrrhic victory. So there's never really any true victory per se. So I'm just saying that like Benjamin is so smart. This is like him just floating and flying. It's because Gaza has been neutered, terrifically. So I'm just saying that like from a Benjamin position, like he's infallible in a way.
Not really. Right now, I think he's trying to balance the bad PR against appeasing Schmoltrich and Ben Gvir, and this is almost like the only move he has. So he's got both sides kind of balanced off of each other. He's extending his shelf life, is what he's doing.
He don't need to extend his shelf life, no matter what he's gonna have until the next election, because now they are in 3 months of a vacation, whatever the government. So he don't need to extend his shelf life anymore, because he's gonna continue until November of 26, no matter what. Even if somebody gonna be able to vote the government down, the government not gonna go down until the next election. That's scheduled for November. So this is bullshit. There is no extension life over here. The thing of it is, the bad position that he has right now, there is no deal that can be good. Because no matter what's going to be the deal, hostages going to stay hostages. Because Hamas not going to give up the last leverage that they have. So no matter what, he's going to need to go in. And probably those hostages going to be the casualty of Israel. There is no other option. Think about it. You think that Hamas is going to give you all the hostages? That's stupid even to think about it. They cannot, because if they give you, they lost all the leverage that they had. How you think that they're going to do that?
Well, does anyone want me to play a clip of Benjamin Netanyahu discussing the Gaza operation?
I watched that today. Yeah. Sure, go ahead. Are you going to include the reporters' questions and everything?
We can, There's a couple clips. I mean, it's like a 28. Okay, let me just play some of it.
Not anyone advocating the destruction of Israel. That's what we want to do. We want to liberate ourselves and liberate the people of Gaza from the awful terror of Hamas. And you were in the Gaza Strip today. You met Palestinians who are fighting Hamas because finally they see that they have a future. They can rid themselves of this awful tyranny that not only holds our hostages, but holds 2 million Palestinians in Gaza hostage. That's got to end.
Are you saying today that you will take control of the entire 26-mile Gaza Strip, as it was 20 years ago to this month in 2005?
Well, we don't want to keep it. We want to have a security perimeter. We don't want to govern it. We don't want to be there as a governing body. We want to hand it over to Arab forces that will govern it properly without threatening us and giving Gazans a good life. That's not possible with Hamas. The only way that you're going to have a different future is to get rid of this neo-Nazi army. The Hamas are monsters. Look at what they're doing to our people. Look at what they're doing to the way they massacred, raped, beheaded our people, our men and women, burned our babies. And they are really cruel to their own people, because when we try to take them away from the combat zones, they shoot them. They want people to be civilian casualties. They want a starvation policy that they themselves are trying to put into being, and we're doing everything to reverse that. They have to go. I think President Trump has said it. You have to see two things in Gaza. You have to see Hamas eliminated, and you have to have the hostages released, and he's absolutely right.
There are 20 hostages that the Israelis believe are still alive. And in recent events, the closer the IDF got to them, many of them were killed. Are you prepared for that?
We're doing everything in our power to salvage the hostages. We've, in the beginning, the second day of the war, I think, a senior command official in Israel said, you're going to have to get used to the idea that we're not going to see any of them alive. And I said, no, I don't agree with that. I think with a combination of the right military tactics and international pressure, we can get all of them, and certainly most of them, out. So far, we got out of 255, we got 205 released, 148 of them are alive. Nobody believed that. And I believe we can get the others, but we have to combine the right tactics, military tactics. Without military pressure, nothing works.
Yesterday, I spoke with Laron Berman. He has two brothers.
Yes.
His family believes they are still alive. He said the following: my advice to you, speaking to the Prime Minister, by all means necessary, we need to bring them back for stability in the region, for the future of Israel. It's a tough decision, but we will handle everything, meaning Israel. What do you say to the families of the hostages?
That's exactly what we're trying to do. People say you can't both release the hostages and eliminate Hamas, and I disagree. I think so far we've shown that we can, and I intend to complete the job, but we have three missions. One, to eliminate the Hamas as a governing and military power in Gaza. Otherwise, there's no future for anyone. And we'll have many more kidnappings and many more hostages. Second, achieve the liberation of all our hostages. And third, make sure that Gaza doesn't pose a threat to Israel again. And we're well on our way to achieve all three. Now, there are difficulties because there's so much vilification and misrepresentation in the press. There's an attempt to put blame on Israel for the interdiction of humanitarian supplies that Hamas is interdicting, and Israel is, the international community is delivering the blame to Israel. They're doing everything to rob these food trucks. They're taking the food for themselves and then jacking up the price for the remaining supplies to their own population. That's monstrous.
We have seen some of that. And you're right about that. And you're also right that we went into Gaza while we've been here this week. And we were in the southern town of Rafah, near the Sinai Desert in Egypt. And that town has been flattened. And you have been accused of genocide. How do you respond to that?
Well, as Ambassador Huckabee said, if we're practicing genocide, we're surely doing a very bad job of it, because we could have, basically eliminated the entire population of Gaza, but we went the other direction. We did something that no army in history ever did. We're supplying humanitarian food to the enemy's population because we distinguish between combatants and non-combatants. We put in 2 million tons of food. I mean, if we wanted to commit genocide, we wouldn't give 2 million tons of food to the population. And also the reason you see the flattened buildings is because Hamas booby traps every single building. So when we come in, we first have the population moved, even though Hamas tries to keep them in the combat zones. But after they move, and we start to move into the neighborhoods that are now populated only by terrorists, they ignite these booby traps. So what we do is we put in an APC, an armored personnel carrier, with a lot of explosives, detonate it. It sets off all the booby traps, and the buildings begin to collapse as a result of that. They're empty buildings. They're not populated buildings. Secondly, they've built this underground terror tunnel network with billions of dollars that they had. They didn't build Gaza up. They built a Gaza terror city underground. So we now detonate the tunnels. The tunnels explode, and they take down the buildings that are above the tunnels. And the reason you see this devastation is not because Israel is wiping out these structures filled with civilians. It's because they've been booby-trapped by Hamas, and that's the kind of warfare that we have to...
I'm hearing you say that you deny this charge of genocide.
Totally.
That's what you're saying.
Totally.
But last week, and you referred to it a few moments ago, President Trump mentioned the word starvation. And he pretty much said it is what it is, from his observation, looking at video and pictures. Were you surprised by that?
No, look, I think President Trump has been terrific. He's supported us in so many ways. And he understands that we have to get rid of Hamas. He understands that Hamas is also using their own interdiction tactics to prevent humanitarian aid going. So there's been shortages, no question about that. There's been also suffering. And what I intend to do with President Trump, we talked about that, and agreed